Can you fix that real quick? It's a clip. I can get it right.
Yeah, it's right there.
I think I got it right here.
No, you gotta move your hand a little to your right.
The clip's here, right?
Oh, right there, yeah. Left. Sorry, it's opposite from me.
It's in.
Yep, we're good.
It's all in, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. The sign's not crooked in there? Oh, you don't need that now because you Podpastor us behind us.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, we're ready. Sorry.
Well, we're already in.
Are we?
Yeah, we've been.
You're sure. Welcome back.
Welcome.
Good to have Josh Cologne with us today. Ethan Panichetti, Christian Panichetti, and, of course, Christian Panichetti Sr. We're glad to be back on the podcast. We're excited about today's episode. We got testimonial from Josh and where he's been and the big screen and the big scene and then where he's at now and then what God's working in his life. Some from Ethan.
We have an announcement
We have
for a project.
Huge announcement to make. We're excited about that.
A project that we're starting next week, but you guys won't see till next year. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun. It's
Yeah.
going to be a good episode. Roll the intro.
Roll it. Welcome back. It's good to be back. How was everybody's week? I hope it was as fun and filled as mine was. How was yours, Chris?
It was good. Good week at work.
Nice.
Some good stuff happened there. Got a new cat,
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the cat's name? I'm always interested in it.
Nimbus, and he's a
Ooh.
tuxedo cat.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, super cute.
So he's black with the white here?
Yeah.
That's
It's like the
tuxedo.
thing, like, is he black with white stripes or is he white with black stripes? I don't know, but he's black and white.
Black and
Nice.
white cat. I had a black and white cat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Gizmo. That was
Gizmo.
my
I like
that was
that.
my mother's first cat. I was actually just talking to Donna about it. The way the two new cats are remind me of how he was when he was younger. And cats are just fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
They
When
are.
it comes down to it. It's
They're
like,
smart.
I'm a dog person.
Me too.
Don't get me wrong. I'm
Yeah.
a dog person. I love dogs. But cats are relatable
interesting.
to a human. They're interesting. You know, he just wants to be left alone sometimes.
Yeah.
He's just staring out the
Yeah.
window. It's like, I do that stuff. you
Yeah.
know? So I
Yeah.
feel very
More human.
very connected to a cat.
Yeah.
And they're fearless creatures.
Yeah, they are.
You know,
Yeah.
no fear whatsoever.
Yeah.
9 lives. I feel like I relate to that a lot. So yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
And this is Josh.
That's actually a great segue. Speaking
Yeah,
of the 9 lives, let's
Speaking
get into
of the
one
9
of them.
lives, let's start with the first one.
Yes.
Tell us a little about you, Josh. Where
So,
you're from,
hey, man,
where you're born, stuff like that.
So I'm Josh Jones Cologne. I am born and raised in South Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And it was 1986, the year that my parents decided to bring me into this world. And it was a beautiful day for them and a beautiful day for me. And I started noticing things at a very young age, being exposed to certain things in this South Philadelphia lifestyle that you're brought into makes you realize things a little bit sooner, and it also puts you in positions that you probably shouldn't have been in and
for
stuff
sure.
like that, As far as an upbringing, I can't say that it wasn't, perfect because
Right.
who has the perfect upbringing, right?
Yeah,
Really,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's a good
But
point.
I know my mother made sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
I know I wouldn't be here if she didn't make those sacrifices, and it was very inspirational for me to see such a woman of power doing it all by herself.
And you got a great mother.
I do have a great mom,
Mm-hmm.
and she's been my inspiration for a lot of things. She's always had my back, and it's important to have a good mother in your life, period, because I see people that don't.
Right.
And I just see they're lacking empathy, they're lacking humility, they're mostly lacking love that they've never gotten.
Right.
And I was very, very fortunate. I got a lot of love. I got a lot of love from my mother. I had a big family, so she comes from a litter of 7. And
7. Wow.
7. Yeah, 7. My mother has 7 brothers and sisters, and they all have kids. And my one aunt had 10 kids. So
Oh, wow.
I was the only child from my mom, but I had all these brothers and sisters because I had all these cousins.
Right.
We grew up in an area of South Philadelphia originally that was completely drug ridden. So there's what you see when you walk out your door kind of thing, it was like the norm. It was the norm to see, somebody struggling, or it was the norm to see, somebody trying to rob something from the store or something like that. I would say it was between 10 and probably 15, those years of my life, that I became very more interested in what was going on in the streets. It became appealing to me, because I knew that there was a certain way to make money, and there was a very, very quick way to do it.
Yeah.
So I started selling drugs at a very young age, because I liked income, and the money was there.
Yeah.
I was a kid at school that used to, sell the bud to the kids and stuff like that. And, I was just lacked guidance. I lacked guidance in certain areas. I have an incredible father, but he was raising another family at the time. He had his own situation. Him and my mother did not work out, and that's just how it was. But as far as discipline in the household, I had my mother, who's a disciplinarian, which a boy really doesn't relate to like that.
Oh, of course,
as with of a father. And I'm very fortunate to have my Uncle Sammy in my life, who is, and I still call him like my father today, because he gave me a little bit more of that disciplinary structure. Philadelphia police officer. He tried to set an example for a positive male role model for all of his nephews. Yep. He see all his sisters were having kids, and they were all having boys. They needed somebody to look up to, something to inspire to be.
I love Uncle Sam.
And
I'm off the beating path real quick. Uncle Sam works at Merlino's now.
Yes, he does.
He's on the grill.
Yes, he's on. Well, not on the grill. He's
no,
he's managing.
He's managing. So well, he should be. He should be.
He's cheesesteak royalty. Nobody really knows that.
They don't realize. Tell us.
We've been at Pat Steaks for 38 years, I would say. My family, every single male in our family has worked at Pat's King of Steaks for the longest time, and we were all associated and in cahoots, and we had the little family going on there as well. But that's basically where that's the place where I learned a lot about life. That's the place where I grew up. Yeah. I seen a lot of real world action there.
Yeah.
Like
for sure.
As far as
the 2 points.
Yeah. It was just like,
what do they call that with that? Gino's here, Pat's here. Now they got, of course, like the dough place, the Doughhead Pizza now is there and stuff. But Pizza's there. Growing up, it was just Pat's and Gino's, and factory works there, right?
Yeah, So it was Pat's, Gino's, and the church was across the street.
Oh, that's right. It was a church.
There was a church across the
street.
Did
that burn down?
I do believe so.
Yeah, okay.
I do believe it burnt down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, I found myself getting into trouble at a very young age.
So
I've also, not to get off the path there, I have all these scars on my forehead.
Yeah, we see them.
From being such not just a clumsy kid, but constantly getting into fights, constantly. I didn't know what everybody else's problem was with me.
Right.
Like, I really, really didn't know. But then as I got older, I started to realize, I'm half Puerto Rican, I'm half Italian.
Okay.
So I've realized, and we were living in a predominantly
Italian.
Irish neighborhood at the time.
True.
And it was very challenging for us being the only brown family on the block.
Yeah.
Because we've had these older people with these idealistics. They're seeing somebody different come in, and not only are they seeing different, there's 15 of us in one house.
Whoa, yeah.
So
don't
it's
like that.
You're messing with one of us, you're messing with all of us. So it became that kind of thing. So we got into mischief. That's really what it was. We were into the mischief. We were into the you're not going to tell us what to do kind of thing.
Yeah. Explains that tattoo rebel.
That bravado. Yeah. The rebel on my arm as
with the knuckles.
With the bare knuckles. It's just a testament to.
A little fast forward. So there's rough bringing up drugs, dealing, not taking.
Yeah, well, both.
Okay.
Yeah. Both.
So you had a taste of that at a young age.
I had a taste of that at a young age too. I'd say I started smoking weed around 11 or 12.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was very early on for me, and honestly, it's it was the segue to everything.
Yeah, now that brings me to that segue of the real world.
Yes.
I don't know if our viewers know the real world. Some probably do, but it's a first reality show.
Yes.
Yeah, we should probably mention that this is our first reality show. Guest.
This is huge, believe it or not.
Hey. Yeah.
And he's been coming for 3 weeks. I messed him up. 3 weeks. Yeah. I'm terrible. I'm like, come, we'll get you on. Come, we'll get you on. And then I totally forgot. But I'm glad he came today.
But in many ways, I feel like this show is more real than real world.
Well, the Real World, what was it? It's a reality. It was the first reality show.
So The Real World was the first reality show ever.
What season?
The season I was on was season 23.
Oh, so 23 seasons later, you get on.
23 seasons.
And
later,
how did you find it being a South Philly kid in trouble, cleaned up a little bit, helping out with Pats and keeping you busy? But then how does the Real World find you? You try out for it. How's that happen?
I have a question there. Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris.
So where is it at?
This guy's interesting. We're gonna get into a couple minutes. You hang in there.
So what was that? What was the casting like? Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? What was the process of that?
Okay, so all my life I've wanted to be involved in TV, film, and video. Period. So something I used to do a lot was look up stuff on Craigslist. Mm-hmm. So one day popped up MTV auditioning, Philadelphia, Real World, and I said, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot.
Right.
I'm going to give it a shot. This might be something. It might not be. And at the time, I was doing a lot of background work in movies. One movie, In Her Shoes, with Cameron Diaz.
Oh, wow.
One of
okay.
the main guys in the Pat Stakes basketball conversation.
Nice.
I literally.
There's a picture of you there.
Said that line, that one line.
This is you at Pat Stakes.
Yeah.
One of my. It'll come up. Keep going.
So the director, right?
There it is. Look at him.
I guess I pissed the director off a little bit.
It's cool.
Because I kept interrupting everybody to try to get
you gotta
my
subscribe.
line.
Gotcha.
And he was probably just like, let the scene go, let the scene go. But I wanted to say this one line because it was a basketball conversation and it was about Philly basketball teams. And I wanted to say offense sells tickets, defense wins ball games. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to. And every time I tried to get in there and say it, I felt like I was messing the scene up, but I felt like I just had to keep getting it in there, keep getting it in there, keep getting it in there. But I know they got to pay me more.
Right.
Too, if that line would have got in there with me saying it. Don't you know the main actor says it in the last line? Do me a favor, you can just be quiet. But the main actor used my line in that movie. And at that moment on, I was like, you got something, bro. Mm-hmm. If that guy took the words out of your mouth and used them, and that director, who's a Hollywood director,
That's
said
crazy.
It was okay.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's like, awesome. Hey, yeah. That's an awesome story. So you
casting,
you heard about that. Yep.
I heard about the casting. It was a grueling, 20,000, 50,000 people.
Wow.
It stretched from 18th and Sampson to 12th and Sampson.
Wow.
That's how long the line was.
Wow.
So I was figuring, okay, I'll try to get there early, whatever. That doesn't matter what time you got there. Everybody was there. You had people coming in from New York. You had people coming in from Chicago.
Yeah, right.
So it didn't matter what time you got there. But I got there early, and I also had really long hair at the time. So I would wear a top hat. You saw the nose ring. You really couldn't see my eyes. And I think this was the mystery that I presented a little bit.
Right.
And they were like, I don't know what's up with this guy, but I think we want to know more about him.
Right.
And I know that's the clicking point. That's what you need.
We call it now a viral moment.
Yeah, what we would call a viral moment or something like that. But they said I resembled Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Okay,
because
gotcha.
That's all you saw was the hair, nose ring, top hat. That's all you saw. And what the casting directors would do, they would bring about 10 people in at a time. They walk around and you can go home. You can go home.
Oh, wow.
You can go home. Thank you, guys. You can go home. They'll have some conversation, just a little banter conversation, whatever it is. The main thing you have to do is keep him entertained. Whatever you say coming out of your mouth has to make him laugh.
Right.
It has to make him want to know more.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And the one thing I think he said, he's like, guys, how's the line out there? And I said, I hope you brought a lunch. You're going to be here all day.
Yeah.
And he just he was just cracked up. Everybody in the circle cracked up. And I was like, okay, that was a good thing.
Right.
And then I started seeing him starting to tap people. Okay. All right, I'm not getting tapped.
Nice.
And then you moved on to the next level, the higher echelon, which was like the upstairs.
Yeah.
But now that's casting director wants to meet with you one-on-one.
Wow.
He wants to see what your style is about. And I knew I could have, really went to the wall and, just overdid it, but I didn't. I was going to hold back a little bit because the mystery is what they were attracted
exactly.
to. They were attracted to this mystery that I brought. And I was going to keep that under wraps as much as possible until I got on the screen or I got on the show or whatever like that. But I had a couple headshots done. And there's this one that you probably pull up where I'm wearing this fur coat and I have this African tribal chain on or something like that. And I think personally, when that casting director saw that headshot and he looked at me and he went, "You straight?" And I went, yes, I am. And he looked at it again and he said, okay. So they didn't know if I was black, white, gay, straight, like whatever it was.
It was ambiguous.
But what I knew is I kept him guessing.
Mm-hmm. And that's what kept him asking.
And that's what kept him asking questions. And that night I got a phone call asking to come back for a second audition.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
An official audition, not a casting, an official audition.
Nice.
Where they would get you in a room with a camera, see how you react, see how your reactions are,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get the flow of how things should go.
Right.
You know, a reality back then and reality now are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
The Real World was the first reality show. When I mean the first, it was the first social experiment.
Right.
So it was the first time you're going to put 7 strangers in a house together and see how they react.
Yeah.
And that is that's a show in itself. So what was going on is like, how can we make a soap opera but not have to pay the actors?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the casting directors came up with. That's what the producers came out. Okay, we can pay them X amount of money, but it's not nowhere near a soap pay or anything like that. It's like, and we can get drama out of these guys.
Mm-hmm.
We can get drama out of this guy. We can get drama out of that guy. So we're going to just put it all together in a pot and see what.
Yeah, see what happens.
See what happens,
Yeah.
And what they got with me was, complete chaos. They did. I think they knew who they were casting at the time, and I think that's what I was there for. But for the first time in my life, I was following rules.
Right.
But I didn't know these rules were made to be broken.
Right.
So once I figured that out, I think I pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah.
But it was a life-changing experience. I have to say, it's put me in positions I've never thought I'd be in. Definitely kept a name in the entertainment industry the past 15 years, and I still get gigs to this day because of it.
Wow.
Segue into celebrity boxing.
There he is there.
Yeah, definitely.
Where I won the light middleweight championship.
Nice.
And I also, I saw that as, this is your comeback moment, bro. Because in the midst of all that Real World, and so me getting to celebrity boxing.
And in celebrity boxing, you were supposed to box Chris. Who was his younger brother? Chris Rock's younger brother.
Yes. So, but originally, my first match ever was supposed to be Antoine Dotson, the bed intruder.
Oh, wow.
Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids. That guy. That was supposed to be my match ever. Yeah, and he backed out.
Chris, you hear that his first celebrity boxing match was going to be against that guy.
Hide your kids, hide your wife.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, Antoine Dotson.
Everybody out here.
They're doing everybody out here. Everybody. So, and it was that was getting buzz again. That was getting buzz, and that got really big buzz. And for some reason, he backed out. I guess he got scared. He saw my father was an Olympic boxer.
See your build.
He said, at the time I was. I need to get a little bigger. But I'm from South Philly, so boxing's a regular thing. You know? But in between that Real World and me getting to that celebrity boxing point, it's like having everything and then watching it slowly fade away. Now, there are a lot of things I should have done at the time, and I hate being this guy, and people were telling me, you don't want to be that guy that says, oh, maybe I should have did this, or I should have did that, or things would be a lot different. Hey, I can't help it. I am that guy. You know what I mean? But sex, drugs, and rock and roll controlled my life. Not only was I a reality cast member, now I have some type of clout.
Right.
Now
which is dangerous.
Yes, which is very dangerous.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to use it to my advantage. I'm going to manipulate. I'm going to do everything. And I shouldn't have been thinking like this at the time. This is when the devil had a hold on me.
Right.
He was like, you need to make money. This is going to be your thing. This is going to be that you can't
that drive for money, that love for money. We talked about that a little last week.
I had this love and this even as a young age, like I said, I started selling drugs really young because I had this. I knew we needed it.
Yeah.
I knew we needed it. I knew I had to get it somehow. Not that my mother didn't provide or anything like that. We lived fine. I had everything I didn't want for much, but I wanted more.
Right.
I wanted more because there was a certain lifestyle that I wanted to live.
Right.
And with this lifestyle came drugs.
Okay.
With this lifestyle came, promiscuous.
Right.
How would you say? Promiscuity.
Yeah,
whatever. Promiscuity, right?
Yeah,
promiscuity.
There we go.
Said a big word, buddy.
I try.
I love this guy.
$6 word.
He wants money.
I need that later, guys. Can we put that on?
That's gas money.
Yeah, man. But I got lost.
Yeah,
I got lost in the shuffle. I got lost in the sauce. I was doing gigs. I was meeting great people. I wasn't using my connections to my full advantage. You know, what I should have really done was, and I've tried, and I've lived in New York, I've lived in LA, I've done those little spurts where but even when I was out there, I was still worrying about partying too much.
Right, yeah.
You know, it should have been more focused on my craft at the time, because at this point, I'm being looked at as somebody who acts up, not somebody who acts. Somebody who acts up.
I got you.
So now I gotta defer myself from that. I gotta show them that I have a natural talent. Yes, I can act, I can box, I can dance, I can sing, I can do a backflip if you really want me to. But I was hindered. I had these I had these demons. You know, it was such a me coming back to the city from DC. It was like everybody welcomed me with open arms kind of thing, and it's a good thing and a bad thing, because a lot of things came with those open arms. A lot of free drugs, a lot of opportunities to make money, which I wouldn't have had before. So you know, you worry about who to trust. At that point, like, you know what I mean. And at that point, I didn't have the security or discipline that I have now. It was completely two different people. It took hold of everything, and it literally brought me down the path of darkness. You know, and
so
I can't.
Quick question for you. So I know you said it got worse after the show, after the Real World. Question: how long after did it take for things to start amplifying in your life, you would say?
So I would say it was a smooth ride for about 3 years. And then, like, you know, at the third, fourth year, I start to notice, okay, your income's not what it used to be. You might have to go get a real job. You might have to go do this.
So in the real world.
The real world kind of like smacks you in the face. It's like, that kind of
real world part two.
That too. You know, and I had some money saved and stuff like that. Eventually that all went, because that's what drugs do. They take all your money. They take all of it. So I did have to get a real job, and I had to get humble again, but I had this addiction. Now I have to fuel this addiction. I got to do whatever I got to do to fuel this addiction, you know? Just put in the wrong situations, you know, holding guns when I shouldn't have. You know, being the connection middleman guy, you know? And it was just there, and it was accessible for me, and I felt like it's what everybody else was doing around me. But me coming from what I just came from, I shouldn't have had that mentality. You know? I'm coming right back into it. It's you know, probably my mother would say, you shouldn't have came right home. You know, you shouldn't have came right home. You should have stood in DC for a couple of years, because I started a band while I was on the show. I had a whole following entourage out there. You know, it's somewhere I traveled to very, very frequently.
It's crazy.
But this was still home. And home had my boys, it had the demons, it had the girls, it had everything that I really wanted. Not that DC didn't have that.
No, I know what you mean.
But
it was easier here.
It was easier here. And another thing I didn't really, you know, my band that I started when I was on the show, great people, great musicians. They were there for the cameras. They were there for the plug. They were there for the push. They were there to say I was the band that was on TV with Josh, not necessarily Josh's friends. So my first band that I started in South Philly, these were guys that I went to dinner with. These are guys that double dated with our girlfriends. These are guys that literally, like, we know each other a little bit more. And when I was in the other situation with the, you know, the new crowd or whatever you want to call it, you can't navigate who to really trust. So, you know, they you know, the main guy from it was my drummer Will, and he literally started everything from approaching me at a pool party one day, and he said, listen, bro, I heard you rapping on the microphone, and I think you're really good. Let's get you recorded. Are you interested? I said, yeah, I actually want to start a full band. So we went out, we scouted musicians, we got the best one to fit the bill, and we made some really good music out of it. But like I said, these weren't really my friends. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I considered them, me personally, I considered them friends. I don't know if they considered me a friend. They considered me a cash cow. And that's just what it was. You know? So it makes you look at things different. It made you, you know. So then when I would run back to the city with my peoples, you know, I just got right back into the same rhythm of what I was doing. And so you say, like, so I said that 3 years, it was a smooth ride, you know, working, money, all that. Before I got on the Real World, I actually had a drug problem going into it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So therefore, I was looking at it as a sober house.
Right.
I was like, I'm going to get away for the first time in a while.
But then it amplified. Everything afterwards.
Because everything's getting handed to you at that point. Everything's getting handed to you at that point. I don't got to pay for nothing.
Right.
I used to get paid about $2,000 to show up and drink a bottle of vodka. These appearances and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
So yeah, definitely. So if you guys are listening to this, it has been very interesting. I've learned a lot, and I've known him for a while. So
yeah.
So this is not something we're going to be able to cover fully in one episode. We're definitely going to have you back on. But I do want to transition to the other side of life now with you.
Yes.
Before we do that, we do have a new segment that we're going to introduce this time for the first time in season 3. Called Views from the Pews.
Yeah.
So we'll take it away with that, and then we'll see you guys in a second.
Hi, welcome to the new segment. Sorry, over. Hi, welcome to our new segment, Views from the Pews. Actually, they're chairs. This will be Mark all the time, but Pastor's doing it today because Mark couldn't be with us. And we preached on skipping church today, Mark, so we miss you. Casey, this is Casey Parkhill, and we have a question. Casey, why do you love coming to the church?
Because I just feel welcome talking to everybody and just having people to just express, just feel like family.
Feel like family, that's good. And how long you been coming?
Well, I'm 17 now, so probably about since I was 14, maybe 3 years.
3 years. And who's your favorite pastor and why?
I don't know about that.
Wow. And there you have it. Views from the Pews. Thanks for watching.
All right. Welcome back. Hope you guys enjoyed that segment. So we're replacing Hallmark Moment with Views from the Pews. So we'll see if you guys like it. Comment down below. Josh, so we talked about everything, your struggles with addictions and the show and how everything was kind of falling apart in life after the show. At what point did you find God in all of that?
So I feel I've always known God.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt I was taught a different way. I went to Catholic school. That was the thing to do in South Philly. You put your kids in Catholic school. So I felt like I've always known God, but me coming to Christ, me coming to God, me being born and saved again, I was at complete despair. I had nowhere else to go. I got locked up 5 times in 1 month. It was my younger brother, who was like my son, wasn't talking to me. It was
Dante.
I
love Dante.
That is my
Shout out Dante.
Shout out Dante Jones. Yeah. And he wasn't talking to me, and I couldn't be mad at him. You know what I mean? Because he's seeing me I don't know if it was me messing up over and over, but he never really saw me as that. He never saw me as that at all. But then when he realized it, and I knew he realized it, I was like, you got to do something, bro. You got to do something. You got the younger generation looking up to you. You have your mother, who is probably going to go into cardiac arrest.
Bro, yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like my poor mother, with the things that I've put her through, there was I believe it was called Calvary Chapel was having an open Bible study down the street from Pat Steaks.
Wow.
And one of my mother's friends from work was in the program. 28 years she had sober, something like that. She kept telling my mom to tell me to go down there. Kept telling my mom, oh, Miss Ellen?
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Miss Ellen.
Miss Ellen is my godmother. That's what I call her.
Yeah.
Because she showed me another way. She said, "Go and let's try the Christ route."
Right.
And I said, "What do you mean? I know God. I've went to Catholic school. I've done all this. I know. I've tried. I'm reading the Bible." She said, "Yes, but do you have a personal relationship with Him?"
Wow, that's the key.
That is when I was like, "Okay, I think I have to talk to Him more out loud." Not just, in your head, or not just, I know God's there, or not just putting money in a donation bin, not just sitting, kneeling, and standing.
Right.
You need to dive into this doctrine.
Right.
Find out the struggle of man, which was Jesus Christ, being born into a world that was completely against him.
Yeah.
And still fighting every step of the way until the day of his resurrection. Like just because of what he believed in. And So somebody told me, in order to beat this thing, you got to fight. And I literally took it literally. Yeah. Literally, I hopped in the ring. I knew there was something there that could trigger and discipline me and say, you know what? There's where your structure is coming from. There's where it's going to come from. But it was just so dark that it'll probably bring me to tears in the next episode, because I've had big plans for my life. Yeah. And then watching it slowly fade away, and you have nothing else to do but dive back into the bottle, or dive back into the bag, or dive back into this. And what you're doing is, you're just setting yourself back 20 more steps. You're setting your back self 20 more steps. And so there was an altar call at Calvary Chapel of Philadelphia. Yeah. I went to the Bible study, but then I went to Big Calvary, which is completely different experience. Right. There was an altar call. I went and I completely burst it down into tears. I hit my knees. I said, whatever I got to do, show me. Mm-hmm. Just show me. Am I in the right spot? Am I here? And I felt like I was in the right spot because I was feeling the emotion of the worship band. I was feeling the emotion of being there. I have a great guy, Pastor Timmy Patrick. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know who he is. He works with a lot of addiction. Gotcha. He runs the Christian Alternative for Addiction Ministry. Okay. And that is where I started getting the foundations of the Bible, actually teaching myself the Bible, not just repeating it. Mm-hmm. Like
understanding it and applying it.
Even getting into some of the Greek translation,
right,
all of that, all of that, because I had time on my hands. Mm-hmm. I wanted to rush this thing. I wanted it to be over. I wanted to this, that. That's not how it's working. Right. That's not how it doesn't work for you. Right. That's how I was looking at it. It doesn't work for you that way. Mm-hmm. So let's put some work in. Yeah. Let's see where this takes you. Mm-hmm. Eventually, it took me right back into the spotlight. Yeah. I started fighting with celebrity boxing. I started booking more gigs. I started getting I wouldn't even say a name because that doesn't even matter to me, but I was a working entertainer again. Yeah. And that is what kept me whole. I knew I could entertain. Mm-hmm. No matter what it was, I knew I could entertain. Yeah. And that was me getting back there. My family support meant so much to me because I would sit in here with these rooms and rehabs and all that. Right. These guys didn't have money getting put on those books. Exactly. They didn't have people coming up to see them. Yeah. They didn't have clothes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was really realizing all the blessings that I had around me. Yeah. And I was just taking it all in, crying every morning, crying every night, just getting it all out, and then hitting the bag. Wow. Yeah. And it gave me a sense of, all right, there's two people getting in this ring. Mm-hmm. One's leaving. Right. And one's going on the mat. Mm-hmm. It's going to be you or me, and it ain't going to be me. Right. And that is the fight or flight mentality that I said to the devil. Mm-hmm. Me or you, it ain't going to be me, because
spiritual boxing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So I took the spiritual gangstership route on that too, and my life has been great ever since. I wouldn't say super great, but hey, it's better than it was. Yeah. And it's definitely going to get better. Right. And I have two beautiful baby twins that are 4 years old now. Nice. I have a home. We have 2 cars. We maintain our bills, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing, because I never thought I'd have a lawn in my life. I'm from South Philly. I'm from South Philly. We don't got lawns down here.
I hear you there. Yeah.
Maybe some of the new houses popping up got lawns. We don't got lawns. Right. But also another thing I noticed while I was up there, and I think it really helped me, is landscaping. Mm-hmm. So me and a friend of mine started a landscaping operation, the Franzo's Landscaping, and that was very serene for me. It was like a serenity I found in cutting grass. Yeah, and the silence of it. Yeah, and the artistry. Of
very different from the entertainment industry.
Very different. So I was just like, man, just keep your head down and mow some lawns. Yeah. A couple years go by. Yeah. Clarity started to come. Right. People were reaching out again from the industry. Mm-hmm. They were saying, you look good, you do this, do that. Now I think it's time for you to get in the ring, blah, blah, blah. And I've been getting gigs from it ever since.
That's awesome.
I can't complain.
Now we do have to close up here, but before we close up, I want to ask you one more thing. You mentioned, speaking of entertainment, you mentioned some plans that you have in the future going forward. Yes. I wanted to know if you wanted to let us know about that, and then we can wrap up.
Yeah. So everybody's got a podcast these days.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can have one.
Well, especially but see, these are the podcasts that matter. We need more podcasts that matter, not the ones that are just on there drinking, smoking, talking. Yeah, that's all fun for there's a lot of those, and everybody has one. But me personally, my dream job has always been radio DJ. Mm-hmm. Radio DJ, internet radio DJ, to play music, get paid for it, and talk about it has always been my dream job. So I had a few podcasts in the past. So I see what went wrong with them, whether it be casting, whether it been the production, whether it been that. But now I'm on to something totally different. It's not only going to be a podcast, this is going to be a full-on network. So the Audio-Visual Journal is going to be based on where Philly voices and visuals come to life. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, it's a cutting-edge podcast that creates the bridges of the world between mental health, Philly, culture, food, sports, talk, and giving the people an unfiltered voice for Philadelphia and behind.
Yeah.
We're going to have, 22-minute episodes that are followed up with an 8-minute documentary. And I'm going to release that on the Franchise Club Network, which would be our YouTube channel, and then eventually move it onto a digital network like Vice or something like that. So that's my goal. And the Audio-Visual Journal will be the segue to start that. And when are you expecting a release date on that? So we're in pre-production right now. Nice. So we have, I wouldn't say like a full episode, but I have full episodes written, but it's the production that we're working on, and different podcast spaces we want to use and stuff like that. So I would say about 6 months. Okay. Yeah. I'm about 6 months out because I want to have enough to put out as content. So if there's a week where I fall back, I have something to. Definitely. I fell into that before. Yeah. Where you're doing it every week, where you're doing one a week. Mm-hmm. So what happens when you miss a week? That's actually something that we're changing up today on season 3 on our podcast. See, there we go. We're starting to film 2 episodes a week. So next week, when you see the next episode, it's actually, we're all going to be wearing the same stuff, but that's because we filmed it in the same day. We're not pigs. So mark your calendar, 6 months, the AV Journal will be releasing. That sounds awesome. I'm definitely going to check it out and give it a watch. I definitely want you guys to come on it. Oh, for sure. I would love to. Yeah, that'd be awesome. For sure, man. I want to get Josh back on for part 2. Oh, yeah, definitely. And because he has so much more to talk about, but also Dante, I'd like to get them together. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do, part 2 of you and Dante. And they love each other. Got great friendship as brothers. Yeah. And then on top of that, he has an uncle who's Chubby Checker's cousin. Yeah. He's Chubby Checker's nephew. Yeah. Chubby Checker was a singer who wrote "Munching on a Cheesecake," right? Or no. What song did he sing? That wasn't. Baby. Yeah, let's do the twist. Let's do the twist. Yeah, that's Chubby Checker. That's Chubby. Champ is somebody that grew up with my mother, my uncles, part of that litter of 7. They got a litter of like 20, and we were the blacks and the Puerto Ricans on the block, and Champ survived death, looked it dead in the face, got shot in the eye by his own son. Wow. I don't know if you ever saw Power or that show or anything like that. I heard of it. It's based off of, they're saying it's based off of those police files. Wow. And this is, his story is just incredible. So I can't wait to bring him on. Yeah. And then, we're going to call it Eye to Eye. Nice. I love that. That he was shot, and he was shot in his eye by his own son. Shot in his head. Wow, it's almost like if you were paying attention, he said that 30 seconds ago. I'm sorry, I'm dealing with a major issue. But so definitely, we're going to be on. So we're going to definitely go on there. We're going to have a part 2, that's for sure. Also, we have an announcement to close out. We will be releasing a show next year in January. I think we're aiming for, right? Called The Church, and it's going to be a documentary style fiction TV show based off of, kind of filmed like if you've ever seen the show The Office. I think that's a great idea, Chris. So we're going to do that, but we're going to make it about a church. Yes. And so keep an eye out. We start filming that next week. So that should be being released in January. So that'll be awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 1 of season 3. We're actually about to film episode 2. Josh, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you guys for having me. And we can't wait to have you again. I can't wait to come back. I can't wait to have you guys on. I want to be a part of this church thing. I want to know what's going on. Let me know. You need scenes. You got it. Dude, I have so much on-set experience. I need it. I'm definitely going to use you for sure. We start filming next week, so we'll talk. Definitely. Yes, I'll be happy to be used. Awesome. We love you guys, and you have a great week. See you later. Take care. Yeah, love you. Love each other.